Deep inside a peaceful forest, surrounded by flowing rivers and whispering trees, lived the great sage Valmiki. He was no ordinary sage, a master of meditation, a seeker of truth, a mind constantly searching for something deeper. Yet, that day, even his calm mind was restless. A thought kept troubling him. Is there a perfect human being in this world? Not a god, not a legend, but a human. As if the universe heard his question, a divine presence approached his hermitage. The celestial sage Narada arrived. A traveler between worlds, a knower of past, present, and future, a messenger of truth. Valmiki welcomed him with deep respect. But this was not just a visit. This was destiny. Valmiki looked at Narada and asked, "Tell me, is there a man in this world? A man who is truly virtuous, courageous and strong, always truthful, firm in his promises, compassionate to all beings, wise yet humble, calm yet powerful in anger when needed, free from jealousy, loved by everyone yet feared by evil." In simple words, does a perfect human exist? This wasn't just curiosity. This was the search for the ideal of humanity itself. The kind of person the world desperately needs, even today. Narada smiles. Not because the question is easy, but because the answer is rare. He says, "These qualities you speak of are not easily found in one person. But there is one. Rama. A prince born in the Ikshwaku dynasty, a man who embodies all virtues, a warrior with unmatched strength, yet a heart filled with compassion and dharma. He doesn't just answer a question, he reveals a story. On the sacred banks of the Sarayu River lay the prosperous kingdom of Kosala, whose glorious capital was Ayodhya. As you hear about this magnificent kingdom, one truth becomes clear. Ayodhya was not just a city, it was a living ideal. Imagine walking through its streets, wide royal roads sprinkled with water, covered with fresh flowers. Every step you take feels like you are walking inside a celebration. Look around. Towering palaces touching the sky, studded with gems that shine like stars. Gardens filled with mango trees, music flowing in the air. The sound of veena, mridangam, and joyous laughter. Ayodhya was alive. But its true greatness was not its wealth, it was its people. No greed, no dishonesty, no cruelty. Every person lived with dharma in their heart. And at the heart of this perfect city stood a king, King Dasharatha, a ruler like no other, wise, disciplined, protector of dharma. A king who ruled his people not with fear, but with love. Ayodhya seemed perfect, untouched by sorrow. But sometimes, even in the most perfect worlds, a single mistake can change everything. Long before he became the king of Ayodhya, Dashratha was a young prince, brave, skilled, and unmatched in the art of archery. He possessed a rare ability, Shabdavedhi Vidya, the power to shoot an arrow just by hearing a sound. In the darkness, without seeing the target, his arrows never missed. Or so he believed. One evening, as the forest sank into silence, Dashratha went hunting. The air was still, the night thick with shadows. Suddenly, a sound broke the silence, like a beast drinking water. To a trained warrior, it sounded like a tiger hidden near the riverbank. Without hesitation, without seeing, Dashratha pulled his bow and released the arrow. The arrow struck. But what followed was not the roar of a beast, it was a human cry. A voice filled with pain. Dashratha's heart froze. He ran towards the sound, and what he saw shattered him. Not a tiger, not an animal, but a young boy, a hermit's son, lying on the ground, bleeding. Beside him, a pot of water still trembling from the river's flow. He had come only to fetch water for his blind parents. And now, because of one mistake, his life was slipping away. With his last breath, the boy spoke. "My parents are waiting for me. They cannot see. Please take them this water." Dashratha, broken and trembling, went to the ashram. The blind parents heard his footsteps and asked, "Son, why so late?" Dashratha couldn't speak. His silence said everything. When they learned the truth, their grief turned into unbearable pain. A father who had just lost his only son spoke words that would echo through time. As we suffer today, separated from our child, you too will one day die in the pain of losing your son. That night, when Dashratha returned to Ayodhya, he was not the same man. The forest fell silent, but inside him, the echo of that cry never faded. Years passed, and the prince became the king, a Mahan ruler guiding Ayodhya with wisdom and dharma. And perhaps because of that one mistake, a rule became sacred in Ayodhya. Warriors, no matter how skilled, would never strike without seeing, never harm the innocent, never let haste or pride overpower righteousness. Ayodhya remained disciplined, just and pure. But the king was not at peace, because a king who ruled the world was helpless before his own fate. And slowly that emptiness grew into a longing, a deep aching desire for a child, a desire that would soon lead him to perform a Mahan Yajna, one that would change everything.